Hi, I'm Ardia Bello and welcome to the Accidental Manager Checklist, where we talk about growing into leadership while unpacking what it really takes to lead, one item at a time. According to the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, many leaders in banking and finance are what we call accidental managers. High performing employees who are promoted into leadership roles without formal training in people management. They're oftentimes left to lead teams armed only with instinct and experience and maybe an Excel sheet or two. Today, we're kicking off with someone who knows exactly what that journey feels like. Welcome to the show, Quito. Okay, so Quito, thank you so much for coming. I know that you're a busy person because apart from work that you had, now you're taking up your MBA. No?
Yes.
But let's look back a little bit first. No, how did you get started in the banking industry?
Okay. So actually, I started in the banking industry last 2016. First, I had a role in sales as a
Okay.
relationship manager, and then I did that for a year, and then eventually it came to a point where I wanted to look for a more strategic role,
Okay.
a role wherein I wanted to learn more about the products, not just sell the products. So that's when I moved to customer segments management.
Okay. So, but was that your course also in college?
Yeah. So I was a major in financial management. So in my mind, automatically, I wanted to go straight to the bank now.
To the bank? Oh.
Yeah.
And ever since you were younger, you've wanted that?
Yeah, actually.
Talaga?
Surprisingly, before second year high school, I didn't like math. So math, di ba, is like parang the pillar of finance.
Yes.
Everyone thinks na, finance, they know how to do math and
Yeah.
all that. I didn't like math during my earlier years, but second year really changed everything for me.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started to hone that skill
Yeah.
and really look at how to use math in a productive way. So that's when I steered to financial
So, parang
management.
practical na yung math mo. No?
Yes.
Yeah, ako rin, I didn't like math eh. Kaya tumagal ako eh. Sa school. Ito, the story of my life. Anyway, let's go back to you. So, you didn't like math and then now you found out that you can use math in a very practical way. You went now into the banking industry. And was this your first job
No.
in the bank?
Actually, yeah. Sales was my first job in the bank.
Sales.
Yeah, so sales. So technically, if you think about it, sales kasi isn't really like math heavy, di ba?
Yes.
So that's why parang after a year, that's when I started thinking, it's like I want to go to the head office and really explore how the products are made, how we market it to people. And that's when I moved to the role that I had.
So, how long were you in the bank?
So all in all, I was there in the bank for 8 years.
8 years. Matagal din yun.
Matagal din.
Matagal din yun. Nowadays, kasi dati nung panahon ko, matagal is 10, 15 years. But now, 8 years is already long.
Yeah.
And in that 8 years, your journey was as sales and then you moved on to products, di ba? When did you become a manager?
Actually, I became a manager there na in customer segments.
Okay.
So in that role we're more doing business development and really learning about the customers, going out, talking to customers, what they need and how we can evolve our products into catering to them. That's when I became a manager. But in reality, like 2021 was the year that I was promoted. But then even before that, I think I was already doing the job of a manager
Oh,
even
okay.
before I was promoted to it.
So, pandemic promotion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
diba?
pandemic.
Kasi in my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, in my mind, when you talk about a banker, pag sinabi mo, bankero yan, or he's a banker, it's kind of very, cut and dry, yung stereotyping. Lalo na pag manager, parang, naku, hindi ka makakalusot dyan pagka no. Diba? Is that still the same in banks now?
No, actually, because right now I think the landscape of banking really changed, especially during the pandemic.
Correct.
Because before, whatever management wants,
Yes.
that's what they put out. That's what they let the customers get from them.
Right.
But now, with the advent of AI, digitization, people are being more customer centric. So top management is actually looking at customer centric products. So they're not only saying, oh, we need this kinds of savings accounts.
Yeah.
They ask the people, what do you need? How can we cater to you? So one big advocacy of the bank really is financial inclusion, especially for people who don't have the means to get proper IDs, those who don't really have the money to put in the bank. But then they receive money from wages,
Right.
from other sources.
Yeah,
Diba?
yeah.
So I think financial inclusion was really the drive that told top management of banks, okay, we have to be customer centric
Yes.
and not just one line, this is what we want, this is what we put out.
So it's beyond the money.
Yes.
It's more the heart already,
Yeah.
I noticed that, no? Kasi talagang the banking industry or the landscape of finance in particular changed during the pandemic, no?
True.
So it's not anymore a very cut and dry. Kasi dati, I know, matagal na akong tao di ba? 57 years na akong tao. Dati talagang very linear ang takbo ng bangko, di ba? Kung ano yung products ng bank. We have no choice. O yan lang ang produkto ng bangko, no? Now it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Very customer centric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, looking at it now, I mean, di ba, online banking, who would have thought that people would actually trust a cell phone to be a channel for fund transfers?
Right.
Di ba? Like QR codes now, parang everyone, like, they don't know how to deposit in a bank, pero they know how to use QR codes, di ba? GCash, di ba?
Correct,
Yung mga those
correct.
things.
Oh.
So little
Sponsor.
things like that. So little things like that, di ba? Parang you'd think na parang, that's like 10 years from now pa.
Yeah.
Pero during the pandemic, you see na parang in a span of 6 months, parang people started, okay, let's use their cell phones, let's use QR codes. Pero before, parang people didn't want that. They wanted to keep their money in their mattresses. They wanted to keep their money in piggy banks. Diba? So, it really changed a lot.
Yeah. So nagkaroon ng puso ang bangko.
Yes.
No? Nagkaroon siya ng puso. And having said that, so you became a manager when you joined the customer segments.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your experience as a manager?
Actually,
Yung mga challenges mo, yung mga ganun ba? Oh.
Actually, when I started, it was hard kasi you're looking for a blueprint eh. You're looking for a step-by-step guide, di ba? Parang you're thinking, oh, I'm a manager now. I have a project with people. So parang you want to see parang, okay, what's step one? How do I handle this?
Yeah.
Pero there was none eh. Like, I'd ask people na parang, how do you do it ba?
Yes.
But the more you ask people, the more your leadership style evolves. Parang you choose one person, you ask them, how do you lead your team? They lead their team this way. You try it in your team, you say, parang hindi siya gumana. Or gumana, but just a little bit. Now you ask another person, totally different naman. And then it starts becoming parang a pot of different leadership styles. And then that's where you start learning na parang, oh yeah, if I use this for this kind of person, it will work.
Right.
This one for another one, this will work. So that's when you start learning. The challenges are there, yes. Pero learning rin when to shift, especially when times get tough na parang, oh, malapit na yung deadline. How do I switch? So you switch lang, and then that's when you start learning na parang, oh, it worked kasi this is what they thought, this is what they were doing.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever had a difficult boss?
oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
How was that
I
experience?
have. Actually, for me, difficult bosses in a way na they're just different ways of doing things, but the goal's the same.
I see.
Diba? Parang, yes, it's a challenge na, okay, you're doing a systematic approach, pero, syempre, you're learning then from them. Even if it's difficult to deal with them, kasi nga parang, whatever you say, it's not compliant to them. But in reality, if you think about it, parang, oh yeah, I'm learning from that rin pala. Parang, at first, yeah, parang gets frustrating. Pero eventually, parang, oh oh nga, no,
Yeah.
I learned that from him.
Yeah.
Or I learned that from her. So parang that's where that mixing of styles comes in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. What was the most challenging or difficult attitude of a boss that you had that you learned from later on? Parang, okay. Di ba, Steve Jobs says you connect the dots looking back.
Yeah.
Di ba? What would that be? Without naming names, to protect the innocent.
Me, it's the diskarte na gawan mo ng paraan. There are not a lot of people kasi who are compliant with the steps 1, 2, 3
Okay.
to finish a certain
Right.
process. But learning when to deviate from a step to be able to make the next step easier is something, it's like an art in itself also.
Yeah.
Di ba? Parang being compliant with the steps pero at a certain step you think na parang, I think I need to push them more. That's what I learned from my boss na parang, parang maybe I'm too good or maybe I'm too timid when it comes to talking to that person. Pero for that boss, parang sa kanya is, hindi, push mo. Push mo, sabi mo today. Sabi mo, yesterday pa natin kailangan. And then that's when I started learning, parang, what if I, as they say, diba, put out your claws and really drive it into them.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started learning, parang, parang it's not on brand with how I do things, pero it gets the job done.
Yeah.
So that's when I started learning, it's really a difference in styles of doing things, but then it's effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the most, let's flip the coin naman, no? The best quality of a boss that you said, yan ang gusto ko.
Best quality of a boss na I really loved was actually being open-minded. Because we had this workshop before about brainstorming.
Okay.
So apparently when you do brainstorming, it's not just throwing ideas around.
Right.
It's you giving an idea, me not actually saying no, but getting your idea and adding on to it. So it's not negating what you said, na parang, no, that's not the right thing to do. It's, let's get your idea, let's add this on, and let's try it.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from one of my other bosses naman. And that's how he did things, na parang, for him, sige, just lay out all your ideas. And then let's try to deviate, let's try to find other ways of doing it.
Right.
And eventually we come up with a solution na parang more pa than what we needed.
Wow.
Parang you have your option A,
Right.
and then he has option B, C, D na in case na this doesn't happen. Kasi nga, because of that brainstorming,
Correct.
so many branches have gone out.
Yeah. Nice. And I'll segue a little bit. No? That's where they say the difference between yes but and yes and.
Yeah.
Starts many times. And if you listen to the conversation, many times people say, you throw out an idea and say, yes, but.
Yeah.
Pag yes, but, normally that you negate it. Diba? You negate what the other person has said. And that's only because you want to throw in a better idea. However, if you say yes and, diba? I don't discredit what you said. In fact, I agree with that. But I want to add on.
Yeah.
Diba? So that's why you come up with many options.
Correct.
Galing. That's so nice. No? So the banking has changed. What do you think is up ahead for the banking industry?
I think now for the banking industry, parang it's more self-service na eh. Like, although people like to talk to another person on the other line. Diba? Syempre, kasi there's still that human touch na if you have a problem, they solve it. Pero, like right now, looking at banking, parang now, there are times na you don't need a branch na eh. Kasi nga, you can do everything on your phone eh.
Correct.
You're not here in the Philippines, okay lang, do it on your phone.
Right.
You do everything na, diba? People go out of the country, I need dollars, wala ako. I'll just exchange it on my phone. And
That's
then,
true.
diba, they have it na. So, I think it's that eh. Parang similar to, let's say, Europe, na where they have open banking. I think
banking.
Yeah,
What
I
is
think
open
maybe
banking?
that's the next step. So, open banking means that you have different accounts from different banks,
Okay.
but you control it through one app lang or through one system lang. So I think in Europe, that's what they do now. So you have different accounts from different banks, but you have only one access to access all your money.
Oh,
So it's not like here, diba? Parang here, depending on your bank, you have
Yes.
an app for that, diba?
correct.
So I think, or maybe in the near future, open banking will be more acceptable here in the Philippines, which I think will be helpful for other people. Na,
Yeah.
instead of managing it, na parang, I'll open this, transfer here.
Yeah.
You just have it all there. Then just
Correct.
choose what bank you're gonna use
Yeah.
and then what account you're gonna use for
Yeah.
sending and all that.
Di ba delikado yun?
Actually, no. With proper regulation naman, that would be a good ano. I mean, yes, delikado if you frame it in the sense na, oh, everything's there, na ganyan. Pero with the proper controls,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be scared with the proper controls
Yeah.
set in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kasi you have to think about that. That's the money of, di ba, that's your money, di ba?
Yeah.
And of course, whoever controls that super app, di ba, that all your bank accounts go through there,
Yeah.
they really have to be very, very careful
Yeah.
with the development because you're taking care of other people's money
Yeah.
in different banks.
Correct.
Di ba? Regulation talaga.
Yeah,
no? Importante
regulation.
yan. And of course, the reason I asked that is for our viewers also, that because Quito is taking up his MBA, di ba? And so we were having a conversation offline, well, actually before the show, and he was telling us that the subjects that he was taking in his MBA was really beyond banking and finance, di ba? Like what?
Correct. Yeah. So I have two subjects now. So one is dynamics of leadership,
Nice.
diba? And then one is ethics.
Ethics. Okay.
So very far from what you think an MBA course should be. Kasi
Yes.
diba, if you think MBA course, what do I have? What do you need? Financial accounting, financial management, all those operations management. But then leadership, they teach you actually to know who you are as a person, self-awareness.
Yes.
Through enneagrams to genograms to lifelines. Talking to other people and asking them, how am I as a leader?
Yes.
Whether it be to a big group or just to other people, diba? And then ethics, learning which is good and which is bad, and actually framing your decision. It's not really a right or wrong, but it's how you frame it. It may be a negative in your mind, but then when you frame it in such a way that, yeah, it's morally good. But then when you think about it, pero negative yung gusto mo. Pero morally good siya. So it actually helps the person and it helps you. Diba? So parang those subjects are very far from what you think an MBA subject should be.
Yeah.
But I think it's critical to be a good leader.
Yeah.
Not only personally, but then professionally also.
Yeah,
Diba?
for your team and for your
Yeah,
company, diba? The
correct.
company you join. So, self-awareness, diba, is important. And it's knowing your strengths, knowing your purpose, knowing who you are. What have you discovered about yourself, for example, as a leader?
There. So for me as a leader, I noticed that like empathy is always something good, diba? But then if you think about it, empathy is also bad in a way.
Okay.
Diba? Kasi yes, it's good. It's good to be empathetic to people. But then you have to draw that line.
Okay.
Up to when will you be empathetic? Especially if you're running after deadlines na. Especially if you're running for a goal that you need
Yeah.
to ano. So, di ba, parang an analogy, let's say, sa sports. You have a team that you're handling. You're the coach. You're being empathetic kasi you know that they're tired na. Fourth quarter, last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You're being empathetic kasi parang you see them na, oh my God, hands on their knees,
Correct.
huffing and puffing and all that.
Yeah.
Pero you have to draw that line din na parang, but we have a job to do.
Correct.
Diba? I know you're tired, but you have a job to do. So, as a leader, parang that's when you start shifting na, okay, let's mix up the people para others can rest, others can play. And then after that, let's switch it up again back to my main ano.
Yeah.
So there. So parang that's
Within that 2 minutes.
yeah,
last 2
diba?
minutes.
Parang kasi you have to know na parang
Critical.
okay, nag-change. Tapos the fresh legs, sila pa yung nakascore. So parang now you have to think, wait, more fresh legs ba? Or keep your star players pa rin there?
Yes.
So parang there's that balance rin na you have to play around na, okay, we're up 5, last 1 minute, do I make that switch or do I keep them in?
Yeah.
Diba? So those are the things na parang, yun, it kind of made me feel na parang, yeah, no? Parang there's always a good and a bad
Yes.
side of things.
Yeah. And also for our viewers, Quito is not just a banker, he's not just an MBA student, but he also went into MMA. So, tama naman yung size, di ba? And, of course, by the size, you can tell that he plays rugby. Di ba? So, he knows sports like the back of his hand. So, ever since I think he was a kid, he really was into a lot of sports. No? So, but that's very interesting because you can relate that so much to work, eh. Di ba?
Yes.
Kasi sometimes, you know, mission critical na eh. End of the month na eh. Ang bangko, lalo na. Di ba? There's so many deadlines in the bank.
Correct.
Now, what do we do? Do we still keep the starting 5
Yeah.
there? Kahit na pagod na, nagba-burnout na sila, konti na lang naman eh.
Correct.
Or, pasok muna tayo ng mga baguhan ng konti, di ba?
Correct.
And that's a manager that has to make that decision,
Yes.
di ba? Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, actually, I've seen that actually in the 8 years that I've been working in the bank. I've seen those na rin eh, na parang there were teams that I knew na okay, parang kulang na sila sa production. Like just a little bit na lang. So what they do is the new ones, parang what they do is okay, we have a new product. This is what you sell muna. So forget about selling muna your big products. Sell this muna. Kasi you know that there are more people that will get this.
I see.
Diba? So para siyang, I'm thinking about it, it's like the Pareto's law, diba?
Yeah.
Diba?
80-20.
Yeah, 80-20, diba? 80% of your production comes from 20% of your client base. Diba? So
Absolutely.
that's where the shift comes in. Diba? Na parang seeing that na, okay, you're down to the last month, you need production. You go na to, you switch na your strategy. And I've seen teams who really go above the target pa
Wow.
when they do that. Kasi nga, they sit down, they talk about it,
Yeah.
and see, okay, you have a client who's like this, let's see how we can deal with
Right.
them, or how we can fix this.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang those are the things that really, the experiences in the bank really showed me na, yeah, it can be done, diba? Even in a short while.
Yeah. And of course, not everything succeeds. Right?
Yeah.
May failure din yan. Di ba?
Correct.
So in terms of failure, how do you handle feedback? Ikaw, personally, how do you handle feedback? I mean, I'm sure your career in the 8 years in the bank was up and down. Di ba?
Yeah.
May ebbs and flows yan. Di ba? You have success one day, and then next day you're in the principal's
Yeah.
office. Di ba? So how do you handle the feedback?
Well, feedback naman for me is, I always had this mindset kasi, if it's work, feedback sa work, give it to me na. Give it to me straight. No more sugarcoating. Kasi for me, kasi parang, I know the feedback comes from my output.
Yes.
If I know na kulang yung output ko, that means that feedback is valid. Diba? If I do something good naman, I know naman na the feedback will be positive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for me, it has been always my mindset na if it's about work, if it's about my output, regardless if it's negative or positive, I'll take it in. I'll think about it. And then, if I need help, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Parang, sige nga, can you mentor me on how I can do it better? And then I'll do it. Siyempre. And then I'll use that na as my evolution to really getting more positive results in the future.
Yes. And that's also helped you with difficult conversations.
Yes.
Diba? So those two go hand in hand, eh, di ba? How do you deliver feedback that's not too favorable? Tapos meron pang difficult conversation, di ba? I mean, it's just... And then on top of that, you didn't hit your goal pa, di ba?
Correct.
Hindi ka pa naka-target. You have all of this coming your way, di ba?
Yeah.
So, I'm sure that's very stressful. The bank is probably the most stressful industry to be in, di ba? Kasi, number one, you're handling other people's money, di ba? And, syempre, you push out your products and your services, and if it doesn't work, you know, people are up in arms. Kasi pera ko yun.
Correct.
Pinaghirapan ko yan eh, di ba? So, what do you do on your spare time or on your me time. Kasi di ba, you're talking about self-awareness.
Yeah.
And all. What do you do to distress? Apart from beating up people in rugby and MMA. Kasi minsan, di ba, just my boss. Di ba? Okay.
Actually, yeah, sports has played a huge role.
Yeah.
Especially pag me time, di ba? It's sports. In addition to that, I actually like to stay at home lang eh. Being
You're
with
home
family.
ba? Okay.
Yeah. Kasi parang, with family kasi you get all the goods and bads.
Yeah.
There's no filter pag family.
Yeah.
Di ba? I mean, yeah, there's some na parang, okay, they sugarcoat some.
Yeah.
Pero, when there's something negative, they go straight at you.
Yeah.
So, me, to distress, I just stay with the family. Parang, usually we have merienda lang.
Mm-hmm.
Chips, Coke. Yun lang. Chips, Coke, talk to the table. That lang. Kasi parang sa akin, parang being stressed sa work and then you're thinking about work pa,
Yeah.
parang that really, parang it adds on eh. Sometimes, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, you're still thinking about work. Pagdating ng Monday, you're more stressed pa eh.
Correct.
Kasi you thought about it ng weekend eh.
Hindi
But
nagpahinga.
this one, spend time with family, and then in addition to that pa, we race.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, by the way, yeah, he races pa. Ha? Daming ginagawa, parang di busy eh. Di ba? Daming oras.
so when we race, we treat it as a family outing kasi. And there, talagang non-negotiable siya.
Yeah.
You have to race, you have to enjoy, and just go home lang in one piece. Yun lang naman yun eh, di ba? So parang...
Very important. Go with one piece.
So it's just that, na parang that weekend na you're just with family,
Yes.
talking, and
Yeah.
competing and having fun lang.
Right.
You have your friends there also in the track.
Correct.
So, diba, that adds to it pa. So, for me, that's the me time that I have.
Yeah. How big is your family?
Family, so we have 5 members actually, but now 4 na lang. But yeah, so there are 4 of us in the
Okay.
family.
And you have a brother?
Yeah,
Or-
so I have 2 brothers, one
Yeah.
older brother and one younger brother.
Yeah. Okay. And how about that? Extended family. Do you enjoy the time also with the extended family?
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Of course. Kasi that's what we look forward to. Kasi extended family, it's always the Sunday lunches or dinners
Yeah.
that we look forward to. Especially our lola and lola. They're getting old na now. So, syempre, for me, parang it's more that eh. Na parang making sure na we're all together.
Yeah.
And in one place lang.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be long, pero
Yeah.
it's a quality.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun always to be in a family. Just like me, I have 5 kids, di ba? So, pag nagla-lunch kami, pag nagdi-dinner kami, iba-ibang kwentuhan yan, di ba? And it's from all generations. You have millennials, you have Gen Z, then may alpha pa, may alpha generation. Siya yung gumawa nito eh. Oh, she's the one who made that. Yeah. And this one, I think, belongs to my eldest daughter. Di ba? So, it's fun, di ba?
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. Family is really not just a respite, but it's a time where you get recharged. Di
Yeah,
ba?
correct.
Oh, I always tell sometimes I tell my wife when after a long week of work, pag Friday, I'll call her, oh, you want to have dinner out? So pag nag-dinner kami talaga, no work, please. Don't ask me about who my client was, what did I do. Wala, it's just work. Diba? It's out of the window na pag Friday, 6 o'clock, tapos na yan. It's now family time, it's me time.
Correct.
And you need that eh.
Yeah.
Diba? I guess with any industry now, with any industry, kasi it was hit eh.
Yeah.
But most especially, I think the banks. Because the bank has changed super, as in dramatically changed. And tama ka eh, yung even the fisher folks, diba? That we like to call the fisher folks, actually have access now to apps, diba? Where they can transact, no?
Correct.
Galing. So if there were 3 things, kasi nga accidental manager checklist, di ba? So we come up with the 3 key ideas that you want to leave our viewers. What would those be?
For me, the first is be a teacher and a student. Always. Always be a teacher and a student. Diba? Not just kasi you may be at a certain level na. And people look up to you kasi syempre, there are people rin who want to be in your position. But then, you have to learn from them also. It's not since you're there na parang learning stops. No.
Yeah.
You have to keep learning pa rin from the next generation. Diba?
Yes.
So me there, be a teacher and a student. Second is know your role but learn to adapt also. Diba? You know your role in the bank, but then you don't parang you don't put yourself in a box. Kasi my experience was in customer segments kasi we used to talk to different departments also.
Yeah.
We talked to fintech, we've talked to credit cards, cash management. Tapos from there kasi parang like at one point I wanted to really learn about fintech. So I was with them most of the time asking them questions about how to do coding, what are the terminologies when you talk to clients, diba? So learn to adapt then, pero know your role also. Right. Don't switch naman to that role na parang you feel na you're in the department. Know your role, but then learn to adapt also. And then maybe the third is get as much real world experience.
Yeah.
If your job permits you to go out and talk to clients, then talk to clients.
Right.
Diba? Kasi the feedback that you get for your products comes from the customer. If you have questions about a new terminology or a new innovation, talk to that department. Yeah. So you really have to get that real world experience so that you can associate difficulties or challenges that other people talk to you about. Right. And then you say, oh, your problem is a fintech problem. So I can talk to them and then let's formulate something to get you what you need.
Galing. So those are the three things that Quito has left us. But before we go, I did not forget. Before we wrap up, we have another segment, just a very quick segment. So I asked Quito to pick a photo of what would best represent or describe him. So this is the photo that he chose. And there. Okay, so I will interpret first. Okay, so I think with this photo, because the photo is a photo of parang mayroon siyang mga strategies. Diba? Different colors, different boxes. There are some rectangular boxes. There are circles. There are arrows. So I think as a person, you're strategic in your approach to things where. You like to think in terms of step 1, step 2, step 3. You like to think in terms of, for me to go to where I want to go from where I am, there has to be a clear strategy. And not only that, but because you're in sports, diba, there's a lot of strategy that comes out of that. So that's my take on the photo. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes,
actually, for me kasi I'm more of a process person kasi I like to go through like user guides and all that. So I chose this kasi I think it sums up also not only my leadership style but how I work as a person, not only professionally but also in sports, diba?
Yeah.
Parang there's always an option 2. Diba? You already have a blueprint pero you have to deviate also. That's why this really sums up how I think this photo is.
All right. Galing, huh? I got it right. Okay, thank you. So, before we wrap up, let's recap our checklist from today's conversation. Number 1, according to Quito, he says, be a teacher and a student. Diba? Not just a teacher, but a student always. You have to learn from everyone and keep learning. Number 2, know your role, but learn to adapt also. So, importante yan, di ba? You know your role, you know who you are, you know your place, di ba? In the organization, but learn to adapt. Don't box yourself in your position, but also don't overstep other positions. And finally, the third one, get as much real work experience. Whew, that's so important. So no one can question the experience that we went through, di ba? Feedback on your product will come from your customer. Collaborate with other departments, di ba? So these are so helpful, Quito. Maraming salamat because again, no, I can't say this enough, but we want to be a show that will not just put out good content, but content that will help people, most especially managers who are really not spoken to. Everybody talks to the CEOs. I have no problem with that. I talk to them as well. But we want to be able to talk to the segment in the organization who really does the heavy lifting, di ba? Who are the managers. Di ba? So, maraming salamat. And I wish you well in your MBA. I pray that you graduate the top of your class and that we're expectant of the next part of your journey. Not as a manager anymore, but as a leader. So the next time we guest you, leader role na yan. Di ba? Kasi self-aware ka na, ethic ka, di ba? Ganun, di ba? Natutunan sa Arneo. Okay, so maraming salamat, Quito. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Strong banking leaders aren't just great with numbers. They're the ones who know how to handle people, pressure, and progress. So remember, leadership isn't just a role, it's a responsibility. And no one starts with all the answers. This is the Accidental Manager Checklist. I'm Arde Abelio. Please subscribe, like, follow, and comment what you've learned. I'll see you in the next episode.